Welcome to Ballard Bluff. My husband Bobby and I recently moved to a new home overlooking the lake, and one of our neighbors started calling it Ballard Bluff. When I was showing a friend some pictures of our new home and its huge kitchen, she suggested that I start teaching cooking classes. Now, any of you who know me know that that is truly laughable. But then I started thinking about it. I could do some videos showing some of the things that I make when I do cook. I'm your host, Jane Ballard, and I'm going to share some easy recipes with you. Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make salt dough ornaments. Now, being made from edible ingredients, these are not edible. I think you might chip a tooth on one of them. We're going to start with 3 parts flour to 1 part salt. Now, in my case, I'm using cups. So I have 3 cups of flour in the bowl. To that, I'm going to add a cup of salt. Set that aside there. Then we're just going to mix the salt and the flour together. I like using one of these granny forks, blending forks, whatever you want to call them. You could use a whisk if you want to, too. That's a nice way to mix dry ingredients also. When you think you have that all nice and blended together, we're going to start adding water. And we want to add just enough water to make a dough. So I've started with about a cup of water there. And we'll see how far that's going to take us. And you can see a cup is not quite enough, but it looks like it's making a good dough, so I'm going to add another ½ a cup. And that's starting to look like that might be about right. So let me get this blended, and we'll move on to the next steps. Well, as you can see, I've got my hands in this dough now. I didn't add any more water because I think we're just about right on that. So, like I said, that was about a cup and a half. Don't go by that precise measurement. You'll want to make sure you just add enough to make the dough the right consistency to roll out. And I'm thinking I got a nice ball of dough right here. So I'm going to move this bowl out of the way and set that on the counter. Move my water out of the way too. There we go. And I'm going to start rolling. We're going to want to roll this down to about 1/4 inch thick. Okay, you can see we've got this down to about 1/4 inch thick. Just kind of going back and forth on it there to make it all nice and level. There we go. Now we're going to take our cookie cutters and press. Give it a little wiggle to break it loose. And line up another one there. Press and give it a little wiggle. And you're going to do that for all of the cookies, ornaments, that you want to cut out of this sheet of dough. And then, of course, like you would with a regular cookie dough, you can ball it back up, roll it back out, and cut out more. So let's get some cut out, and then I'll put them over on the cookie sheet to bake. Here's another trick you can try when you're cutting the ornaments out. After you've cut them with the cutters, remove the excess dough from around your cut dough, and that will make it easier to get your cookie spatula, and I really do recommend one of these little thin cookie spatulas, to get in underneath here And then you can slide them on your cookie sheet really easily. And these guys can go really close together because they are not going to rise and they're not going to spread. Before we put them in the oven though, there's one last thing we need to do. You're going to take a straw and you're going to decide where you want a hanger. Put the straw in, give it a good twist so it goes all the way through. And that will leave a hole for your hanger or ribbon or string or however you want to hang the ornaments on your tree. There we go. These are going to bake at 200 degrees for about 4 hours. So it's a long, slow drying process, but this one will do in the oven. So just be patient. We'll have some ornaments to show you here in a little while. Well, I have the salt dough ornaments out of the oven. I have also taken them out to the garage and given them a coat of clear acrylic sealer, front, back, sides. This will help preserve them. At this point in time, you can decorate them however you like with paint or glitter or whatever. You'll also want to take a piece of string, double it, put a knot on one end, run the loop in through the hole on the ornament, and that will make the hanger for your ornament. I want to thank you for joining me today for Salt Dough Ornaments. Hope to see you again some future episode. Until then, I'm Jane Ballard, and this is Ballard Bluff. We'll catch you later.